So one of the things that we need to understand before we start addressing reactivity in any way is we need to understand why dogs become reactive. And reactivity, I want you to think of as a symptom, and I want you to think of that the core problem is not reactivity. The core problem is something else, and that's actually our sickness that we want to address. And a lot of different varieties of emotional states can cause reactivity. The first one can be fear. So you have a dog that is fearful of something specific, okay? So I'm going to write that toward something specific. So let's say that your dog is afraid of other dogs. Let's say that your dog is afraid of children, it's afraid of men, etc. It has a specific fear and it becomes reactive to it. Reactivity is the symptom. Fear is the actual illness that we need to address. Your dog might also become reactive due to anxiety. So anxiety is not fear towards something specific. Anxiety is fear of the unknown. So if you wanted to compare that to human beings, when are we the most anxious? Well, we're the most anxious when we have a lot of unknown factors. When you don't know where your next paycheck's coming from, when you don't know where you stand with your significant other, when you don't know where your kids are at night, that's when the what ifs come. That's when we get those anxious thoughts. So anxiety can very well be a dog who has trouble settling, right? They can't settle in the home. They can't really settle when there's noises going off. They can't settle out in public. They can't settle when there's people around because there's too many what ifs, right? So we can get a dog that becomes reactive, not to anything specific, but because they're at a breaking point from all of the what ifs. I gotta just blow up, right? This can also happen when we are moving the dogs too quickly. So you're always running, always playing, always doing things, and the dog's mind is racing and can't shut off. We can get explosions from that too. But again, reactivity is a symptom, and this would be the root problem that we would want to address. We can get reactivity from a dog that's exhibiting some type of territorial behaviors. So this can be dogs who run the fence line, become protective in the home, so we can have reactivity within the home, right? Resource guarding. It can also come from dogs that are constantly marking on things, right? These can be signs of a dog that might be territorial. And so we can get a dog that says, this is mine, don't come near it. We can get a dog that says, this person is mine, don't come near it. This fence line is mine, don't come near it. This car is mine, don't come near it, right? You can have a dog that's very territorial. Maybe you walk the same avenue every time you take your dog out on a walk, and they mark and they mark and they mark and they mark the whole way around, and you do the same lap every day. Well, then any dog that starts coming in there, your territorial dog is going to say, this is my block, or this is my car, or this is my corner, right? And they're going to start claiming that through reactivity. So again, reactivity is not the root cause. Territorial would be. We can get reactivity from frustration. So maybe you have a dog who just doesn't get enough exercise, doesn't get enough exposure or whatever, and they're getting frustrated by constantly being held back by the leash, right? We can have dogs like that. So dogs that are underfulfilled. We can also get dogs who love other dogs and have no idea of respect of space or manners or how to control themselves around other dogs, and they're frustrated that you're pulling them away. These dogs can look just as reactive and aggressive as dogs that are truly meaning to hurt somebody, right? But all they are is frustrated. And again, we're dealing with a situation where the dog is exhibiting a symptom that is the representation of the root cause. So in order to get the dog past reactivity, we need to address the fear or the anxiety or the territorial behavior or the frustration. And sometimes it's all of the above. Once we've addressed the root cause, reactivity goes away all on its own.